Well, the rain got us. Quite a squall, 30 knots of wind. We're reaping pretty quick. But yes, very wet. Refreshing. Wake me up.
Hello and welcome to Grenada, where it is very windy and the anchorages are rocky.
But the island is lovely and it's proper Caribbean sailing in blue waters, enjoying it a lot.
And we've been exploring inland as well. I hope you like the film. Coming up, a rocky night sail from Trinidad to Grenada. Cooling down while touring the island on a scooter. And the man who wants to bring beer to the rum shacks. We begin in Trinidad. Peaceful, majestic, but for us it's time to leave. We spend our last day moving the short distance from Chaguaramas to Scotland Bay, a quiet enclave where we plan the next stage of our Caribbean adventure. Well, we've had a lovely day here in Scotland Bay. The water's absolutely perfect. But we are going to go now to Grenada on an overnight trip. It's 80 miles, so it's about 16 hours for us. We decided the best thing to do was to do it overnight and get there fresh tomorrow morning. So Steve is now getting the sails ready.
Yep, that's all done. So I'll get on the anchor. We can get going.
Okay,
Otherwise it's going to be dark before we get going. Back into night sailing straight away. We quite like the night sailing now, and it's nice to just be out and back on the boat because yeah, a month or so in the yard's a bit much. You can see I've got most things done. Deck's looking a lot better. The varnish isn't quite there because I ran out of the varnish I need. I used the wood skin on this one here and they didn't sell it there, so I've run out. So it needs a couple more coats. But apart from that, it's all done. So let's get the anchor up, get going. It is quite breezy. I think it's going to be a pretty rough crossing actually. It's going to be on the beam though. The swell's going to be on the beam, but we'll be on a broad reach. We'll be probably pretty quick, which is why we're sort of leaving so late. It is odd to be leaving as the sun's going down, but it's one of those things. Even overnight, if we do go too quickly, we'll get there before dawn. So just try and time it right and have a nice night sailing, and it should be good. It's been nice being here. What a lovely place.
Well, the ripples on the water are a bit of a giveaway. There is quite a tide coming through here, which is a little bit scary, but yeah, we'll manage. I'll get through, I'm sure, and then we'll be out the other side, and it's almost a straight line to Grenada.
Yeah, we might as well get the sails up, or the mainsail up anyway, while we're in here before we get out in that swell. So you're going to have to deal with this bit of tide. Just take us over, gives us a bit of room, and let's get this mainsail up.
Yeah, just a little bit further up.
Yeah.
As the sun goes down, the sea state remains quite choppy, giving us a rocky ride. The 20 knots of breeze from the northeast means we're travelling around 7 knots as we head out into the night. Okay, so Grenada is one of those countries where you can check in online using Sail Clear. So I'm just doing that now. Arrival country, go down to Grenada. There we go. Select arrival port. A bit confused because the one I want isn't on there, so I'm just going to go for one. And vessel, only vessel in is Fair Isle. So various questions about what we've got on board, like ammunition or tobacco, which we don't. And after I've done all that, we are good to go. And this is also good for other islands in the group, in the Sail Clear group. So it's really good news. I don't have to do it every single time. We point our nose directly for Grenada, and as night falls, we're making good progress. The only caveat is the strong current that keeps pushing us west, pinching us up against the wind. But it's no great shakes, and at first light, Grenada is in sight.
So the sea's flattened out a little bit now. We're in the lee of the land there. And we're coming a little bit too far west because of that current. 3 knots we had at times, that current coming through. So we'll just tack across, maybe wait for this rain to go through, and get into Prickly Bay. Well, the rain got us. Quite a squall, 30 knots of wind. We're reaping pretty quick. But yes, very wet. Refreshing. Wake me up.
Not quite the graceful arrival we had in mind, but there is a fantastic rainbow, and we are here, along with plenty of other boats. Now we just have to find a space. It looks a little bit crowded.
It's very crowded. It's a bit rolly as well. I'm going to try and come in deep and see if we can find a spot in here. If not, I'll have to go back out there. I think we found a gap. Wide angle lens, so they all look a long way away, but they're reasonably close. It's not quite the Mediterranean type closeness, but closer than I thought it would be here. Put in a little bit of chain. I think I've got a little bit too much out. We're only in 5 metres of water, so don't need too much.
Well, we're just getting ready to go out and have a bit of an explore of this lovely island. And the first thing we're doing is closing the hatches.
Yeah, it seems a bit counterintuitive because it is very hot, but you get sudden rain showers here. We had several on the way in, so yeah, we don't want it soaking wet when we come back, so I'll close all those. And yeah, and I have got, look, I fitted another one of our fans, one of our special fans. So when I come back, at least we can blast some air in to cool it down. But it cools down pretty quick once you've opened everything up. And at least the portholes are still open. I had a bright idea just before we left. I've got the solar panel propped up. This is what I've been charging the Ep113 battery with. But I just thought, I could open the hatches and have that over the top. So I still get some air through and no rain. See if that works. Oh, good dinghy, Doc.
Yeah, it makes all the difference, doesn't it? It makes you feel welcome.
It does. We already visited it once this morning just to go up to that little hut up there, which is customs, a much easier experience than Trinidad.
10 minutes, it's because I've done it all online. So
Yeah.
Trinidad, join the group.
Yeah, such a good idea. Anyway, we're off on a little excursion, little visit. Gonna go up the hill.
Is that why it's called Prickly Bay, do you think?
Yeah, very quickly. Well, our mission today was to actually come out and get some food, get some veggies, but look, this is something we've heard about actually, haven't we?
We have. You can do tours and go around and taste real ale.
We will be doing that. Definitely. We're going to come back here one evening. They do real ale, they do proper IPAs, definitely on the list.
But first, some boat jobs.
Okay, this afternoon's little job, it will be fitting this. It's a Victron Phoenix inverter. It's only a little one, but it's quite big and quite heavy, but it is really, really efficient. So I'm going to run the Starlink off that because we've been running sometimes the ship's inverter to have the Starlink on and just to have the Starlink on because we don't really use much AC on the boat. But of course the Starlink has to be run by AC unless you do that real sort of mega conversion through to DC, which you can do, but then you have to use a different router. It's quite involved to do it, and this people say is pretty much as efficient as doing the whole thing directly from DC. This thing is so efficient, you're not losing much through it at all, and it would be better for us as well, because at the moment when I do it through the ship's inverter, I have to go into the engine room to turn that on, because the remote, which is on here, doesn't work, because Mastervolt in their infinite wisdom have not made their new stuff compatible with their old. So I bought a new inverter and it doesn't work. I've whinged about it before, but it's really annoying, things like that don't work. It's got the plug for the remote, but doesn't work. So this will be much better. I can switch it from the panel, just switching the DC side of this on, and then that will turn the Starlink on. I'm going to mount it in here, and I'm moving the router. The router used to be in the aft cabin, but if you saw the thing that we did on Starlink when we first got it, it meant that in the saloon it wasn't a perfect signal. It sort of, when you tested it, it seemed okay, but I think it probably is a bit slower. So now it's going to be here, which is closer to the saloon. It's sort of in the middle of the boat, so it's better. So I've stuck it to here with some of that Velcro 3M stuff, but it's also sat on there, and I've got a strap around it as well. I don't know what it is with that 3M stuff. It used to stick anything, that Velcro stuff, but it doesn't seem to anymore. It just kept falling off the wall in there where it was before. So yeah, it should be solid there. So yeah, I just got to get all the cabling done. Obviously really annoying with their cable with the funny L-shaped thing to try and get through, but managed to get it through. Just tidy it up now, and we'll have a much more efficient system, hopefully. Okay, well, got it wired up, but didn't actually work. Got some odd error lights flashing. Not exactly sure what they mean, but I've taken the top off it because I know that you can actually change this over from being a floating earth here to being bonded there. I'd rather keep it floating where it is at the moment, and I actually think it might not be that. It might be that it hasn't got just a strong enough feed to it, because I actually fed it just directly from the switch panel directly to here. I was switching it onto there. It'd be more elegant really to use that switch onto the remote and have this with some nice thick cables directly up onto the panel, which is what I'm putting in now. And I'll put a nice breaker in there as well. So yeah, I'll get that done. See if that does it. If not, then I have to fiddle around with the floating earth and see if it's an issue with that. And I've got lots of grub screw fittings, so definitely a case from a box of ferrules. Hate having bare wires in grub screws. And these were the breakers I stripped out of the solar system. They were no good for that. Don't take the high current for any length of time without getting warm and distorting things inside, but they'll be fine for this. Turn it on and see what happens. That's good. Green light. Solid. I think that's it then. Job done. Yeah, I was getting red light before. That's absolutely fine. So the remote's working okay. Obviously it's not an issue having the floating ground in this. So I'd read in some places that the Starlink doesn't like a floating ground, but it's still on there. I think that's the position for the floating ground anyway. The back there, you can't really read the writing, but that's how it comes. So yeah, I think that's all good. Put the top back on, get it properly installed. I'll let you know how it goes once we've had it running for a while.
And now it's time for the fun stuff. Yes, we do know it's only a scooter, but hey, it's a great way to travel.
Well, it keeps you cool travelling on the scooter.
Yeah, you certainly need the breeze out here. And here we are at the Tri-Island Chocolate Factory.
It's great. Let's get some chocolate.
The chocolate plantation is on the other side of the island, but there is one tree here to show what the chocolate pods look like.
It's not hollow.
No, it's not. And it's on a branch.
Yeah.
It should be more on the trunk.
It should be like that, more of those, but they're not the right colour yet. It's got to have a bit of a sunset colour to it and have a hollow sound when you tap it. So nothing ready on this tree yet.
Inside, a ripe chocolate pod. Yeah, it feels like It's the pod inside,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, there's little pods in. Yeah, you can see.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Ah.
So this is what it looks like. So this one is a little dry, but you can still suck on it.
Yeah.
So you suck on it, it tastes just like a lychee or lychee.
Oh, okay.
So you don't bite into the seed, you just suck the white stuff
just
out,
suck the white
and
stuff.
then you put the seeds in the bin.
Okay, thank you. Wow. Mm.
It's not bitter.
That's
what I thought.
Well, a bit bitter.
So cocoa is not really bitter.
No, and then what's that? Is that the stone?
That's a seed.
That's a seed.
Yeah.
Okay. Once dried, the beans are sorted by hand.
So these are the healthy ones that is used to make the chocolates, and these are the ones that we throw away, which we say the bad beans.
Okay.
And how do they get bad?
So the bad beans, it can be used, but not to make chocolate, even though Hershey's use it. It can be used to make cocoa powder, which you drink in your hot chocolate around Christmas time, and it could be used to make cocoa butter, which is the main ingredient for white chocolates.
Right.
The reason why we salt is because those that are very small and flat, if you roast them with the healthy ones, they're going to burn under 5 minutes. Your dark chocolate is going to taste bitter. And those that have small holes and cracks, we are not too sure if there's bugs on the inside that we are not able to see, so we just throw them out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the key to good chocolate, is to just use the good beans.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it tastes great. Back on the road, and our next stop is a swim. Not a massive waterfall this time, though Grenada has several. More a dip in a stream just to cool down. And we need it because the day is just getting hotter. But we are on a mission. We're heading north to find a place where we visited before, many, many years ago. Now there's a little bit of history here because 25 years ago we came to Grenada to make a film about organic bananas.
Yeah, and they're still here. Look, it's not so many of them nowadays, but what there is left is doing well.
Yeah, the estate no longer sells bananas because it's moved into a different area of sales. They're making
rum. They've always had sugarcane coming in here for hundreds of years. They've got a water wheel, all that sort of stuff. It's all organic, but I think they've realised there's more money to be made out of rum than there is out of bananas.
Exactly.
Funnily enough.
Dump the bananas.
But look, fantastic place. So we're going to have a little look around and a bit of a tasting.
So we make organic rum here, strictly from sugarcane. 90% of our sugarcane is grown here on the estate.
Oh, well.
The other 10% we get it from the local farmers around.
Yeah, yeah,
So like I said, water power.
yeah.
Our main source of energy comes from the Antoine River.
The sugarcane is crushed, or rather mangled, through these giant rollers driven by the water wheel. Is that dry now?
It's sort of spongy. It's inside. Yeah. Oh. So from a lump of sugarcane, a sort of length of sugarcane, what would you get? Sort of a thimbleful, a cupful, half a cupful?
More than a cup.
More than a cupful. It's a lot of juice.
The pulp is then used as fuel for the furnace to heat the sugar mixture. We arrive after work has stopped for the day, but still the rooms are boiling hot. Everything is done by hand, and the liquid is moved from one vat to another as it heats and reduces. It then goes on to another room to ferment.
So we add absolutely no chemicals to it. The sugarcane juice just sits there for 8 days, gets its own yeast and bacteria from the atmosphere and ferments on its own.
The rather revolting looking mixture is then superheated to a vapour and then water cooled in pipes to condense back into a liquid. This completely clear liquid is what ends up as rum.
So because of this natural process we have here, whenever you drink a river's rum, you get no headaches, no hangovers.
That, of course, has to be tested. There are two rums made here, 75% proof, the local favourite. But first we try the 69% proof. Okay, it is not a sipping rum. You have to go for it.
It's all the way back.
Okay. I think I'm going to get some water. Wow, it's nice though.
It is
Nice, yeah.
It's only 75.
75.
Go on, go for it.
You're driving, right?
This one is way smooth.
Oh my God, it tastes completely different. How strange is that?
Really?
Yeah, completely different.
God. That's amazing, isn't it? It's like it's not even in your mouth.
I know. It's completely
in there,
different
it's like-
taste.
That's incredible. What a difference. What a difference.
In case you're wondering, the 69% proof is made for export. Anything stronger is illegal to take on a plane. The way back is mostly downhill, so we can go even faster. Run that music. And finally, well, we promised you beer.
It's not just the Brits and people coming here that know about these sorts of beers. The locals are getting into it.
Man, we love it. It's not just a rum place. I grew up in Grenada, so I know what it was like. When I was growing up, you had Carib, you had Heineken, you had Piton from St. Lucia, I believe, and you had Guinness, and that was it.
Okay.
That's 4 different options.
Yeah.
Now, we at West Indies Beer, we came in and kind of just blew that completely out of the water.
Yeah.
If you look at the board here, we have about 22 different beers on tap at all times, all different flavors, styles, brewing processes. So we like to think that we have something for everybody.
Everything's done here, is it?
Yes,
Everything's done on
that's the other
site.
cool thing. Like the journey of the beer, it doesn't have to go very far to actually hit your glass.
Yeah.
Like the entire journey starts here and ends there.
Yeah.
So this is our production side of things. So it's a very simple process. It's only 3 steps. Well, I'm actually going to make beer tomorrow, and I've got all my ingredients right here. So this is kind of all that goes into a beer.
Okay.
Like,
Oh, Fuggle hop pellets.
Yes, UK style hop.
Yeah. I mean, it's one that we grow in Kent, where we used to live.
Yes.
Fuggle's a big hop.
Yeah, we also have one called East Kent Golding, which I
Yes,
assume
the
comes from-
Goldings. Yeah, that's right. I mean, Golding is one of the ones that's...
Golding is a family name, or?
It is, yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, in this very heavy drum here, this is just called malt.
Yeah.
So it's just malted barley. You take the barley plant and you roast it, and we get it liquefied.
Yeah.
What you get out of malt is your color and your sugar content. This happens to be dark malt.
Yeah.
They're pretty much just called what they look like. It's dark or amber or light or
So
pale.
what are you making tomorrow?
I'm making mongoose tomorrow.
Mongoose.
So, I'm not here to knock our local lagers because I grew up on them.
Yeah.
But when you have something and you can actually experience the full range of flavors, all the malt, all the hops, the creaminess, the head, the entire experience, it just flips a switch and you're like, wow, this is great. This is what I should have been doing for years.
So these are the 2 most popular drinks, they say. Okay. Cider, which they say the women really have taken to here, and Black Rock, which is what they're having in the rum shacks. Now this is really strong. This is 8.3.
All right, and this is mango cider, yeah? Fantastic.
Mango cider. And that's amazing. It's not like a normal IPA, it's more like a porter, but it's really nice.
Well, this is lovely. Very fruity.
Well, there you go.
Cheers, job
Come
done.
here again.
Yes, beer in the rum shacks. Now, that's quite a thing because there are loads of rum shacks around here and they all contain spirits.
And the Grenadans like their strong liquor, so they're going for the 8.4, the beer they're taking there. But if you go to the pub, you can get whatever you like. Their standard IPA is about 4%, I think, and so is the cider you were drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Very fruity, lots of different fruits.
Yeah. And the rum, I mean, that was amazing, the rum. When we did that taste test, the difference between the 75, the strong one, which is their normal one, and the watered down version, the 69, 8% one.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
It was.
I couldn't see why that is so, because it's just watered down. That's all they're doing.
Exactly. So if anyone knows, do let us know, because they had to make the 69% because after 9/11 you can't take anything more than 70%, I think,
Yeah,
on
too
a
flammable,
plane.
so they won't allow it.
Exactly. But it was lovely to go to the organic
Mm.
place. I call it the organic place because we went there before to see the organic bananas, which I think it's a shame they don't export organic bananas anymore.
Yeah, it was a sort of faddy thing, I think, because in the UK we went through a sort of fad of wanting organic everything, and you can't get organic bananas from Central America because they've got a fungal
Yeah.
disease called black zika. So in the Windward Islands, they thought, great, we'll cash in, we'll do all these, all these stuff organically, but I think it probably just didn't sell as well as they thought. So
Yeah.
gone for the run.
But here is the mystery. Why on this beautiful island is there not more fruit and vegetables grown? Because it's just incredible. We haven't found it, so maybe it's just us. But when we did go shopping that day, when we first found the
Yeah.
brewery, I was looking for lemons, and we found 3 imported lemons at $2 each.
Yeah, and a couple of
Why?
local oranges, which were inedible. They were absolutely horrible. Which is, I mean, you walk up and down the mountains here and it's lush and it's green. Obviously, things just grow here. So
Yeah.
why are they not growing things? So yeah, if anyone knows,
Apart from
Tell us.
avocados, massive avocados,
Oh, yeah.
and they are absolutely
they're
fantastic.
to die for. They're fantastic.
They are. And anyway, Steve still hasn't found his varnish either.
No,
by the way.
I haven't. No, if anyone knows anywhere in the Caribbean where you can find international wood skin, do let me know, because I do need to get some.
Now that's the whinge over, because we are actually really happy here, and we will be here for another couple of weeks before we continue up north to St Lucia.
Yeah, we'll work our way up slowly before we have to scoot back down again for hurricane season. But yeah, we're enjoying our trip up through this part of the Caribbean. It's been very, very nice.
It is. It's absolutely lovely. Living up to all expectations. So thank you very much to our patrons. Thank you to our subscribers, and do subscribe. It's absolutely free. And thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.